Meeting of the Amherst Township Trustees is called to order. Please stand for the pledge.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Abraham?
Here.
Lynch?
Here.
Euring?
Yes.
And Kish is present. We have a quorum. And the Amherst Township meeting minutes from November 26, 2024. The meeting was called to order at 7 p.m. by Lynch with a pledge to the flag and roll call. Abraham, Lynch, Euring, and Kish were present. Additional attendees were Kay Smarsh, G. Lynch, and Kay Hill. 11/11/24, a motion by Euring, seconded by Lynch, to approve the November 12, 2024 regular meeting minutes as corrected. Roll call, Euring and Lynch were ayes. Abraham abstained. 11/12/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Euring. Move to approve that the October 2024 credit card account transaction detail has been reviewed per policy and is accepted as presented subject to investigation. All ayes. 11/13/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Euring. Move to approve the financial reports and payment of items on the payment listing as presented and with reservations. All ayes. There were no audience concerns. Under correspondence, County Commissioner Jeff Riddell was supposed to be in attendance to update us on ongoing county projects and updates that affect Amherst Township. Commissioner Riddell will need to reschedule. Fiscal officer reported that a full audit is still ongoing. Trustee Abraham provided his copy of the fraud risk assessment and will be forwarded to Auditor County Courts. Update on House Bill 47, automated external defibrillator requirements, effective 10/24/24. There is no update. Township Administrator is working with OTARMA and also waiting to see if any updates on the legislation. We did receive our OTA reimbursement of $75 for the 100% participation in the Lorain County Township Association OTA training subscription in today's mail. Under reports for ambulance, the Sandstone Joint Ambulance District quarterly meeting will be held on Thursday, February 13th, 2025 at 11 a.m. at the Amherst Fire Station. Zoning Inspector Sam D'Ambrosio was not in attendance. There are two meetings scheduled for December 11th at 6 p.m. for a conditional use hearing regarding the AEVSD bus garage, and December 18th BZA meeting for an area variance for 3244 Sandstone Mill Run, Lot 30. Homeowner wants Ryan Homes to construct a single-level ranch home with a rear covered porch facing the wooded conserved area. Under Roads, Parks, and Cemeteries, Superintendent Smarsh reported just about finished with leaf cleanup and a couple of catch basin repairs. Tomorrow, a sewer tie-in on south side of Middle Ridge Road near the township's western limits. Finished the frames on the salt trucks, and we are ready for any weather that may come along. The new plow truck delivery will be early 2025. Under Lorco, Eaton Township is having a housing boom. The revenue coming in is exceeding the Lorco Phase 1 expenses. Lorco will be part of the new 6119 Regional Wastewater Treatment Plant. Complaints are being handled by the designated individual. No old business. Under new business, 11/14/24, motion by Lynch, seconded by Abraham, moved for authorization of Amendment Number 1 regarding sewer service agreement by and between the City of Lorain for the County 104 sanitary sewer service area. Roll call, Lynch and Abraham were ayes and Euring was a nay. The next regularly scheduled meeting will be Tuesday, December 10th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Amherst Township Hall. The 2025 organizational meeting will be on December 17th, 2024 at 7 p.m. at the Amherst Township Hall. There will also be a Records Commission meeting at 6:30 p.m. prior to the 2025 organizational meeting. 11/15/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Abraham, moved to enter executive session at 7:40 p.m. according to ORC sections 121.22G1 for discussions regarding the hiring, promotion, demotion, or dismissal of employees. Roll call, all ayes. 11/16/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Euring, moved to return from executive session at 8 p.m. Roll call, all ayes. 11/17/24, a motion by Lynch, seconded by Abraham to adjourn at 8:02 p.m. All ayes.
Are there any changes or corrections to the November 26th meeting minutes?
One typo that just jumped out at me, and I regret I looked over these. I didn't catch it, but now I caught it. Under the Lorco report, it should be Lorco Phase 1.
Yep.
Lorco Phase 1. My bad.
Yep.
We got that. Okay. That's the only correction I have.
Make a motion then to approve the November 26th meeting minutes as corrected.
Second.
Urick,
Yes.
Lynch,
Yes.
Abraham.
Yes.
That is 12-1. We're in a new month. And you got the financials in front of you. Not that many bills came in yet so far. Of course, we are early into the month, so there will probably be another sheet for the 17th, and then I know you're going to go ahead with bills being paid the rest of the year. So if there's any questions on any of these.
You will have a bigger slew next week, I trust.
I see what comes in.
Okay.
And then our year-to-date revenue is $794,457.68. And our year-to-date expenditures are $1,271,658.35.
Are any other questions on the financial report?
No.
No, it's shorter because, as Chris said, we're early and it seems like we were just here.
Yeah.
But, okay, then I'm going to make a motion to approve the financial reports and the payments of the items on the payment listing as specified in the documents provided by the fiscal officer.
Second.
Lynch?
Yes.
Urick?
Yes.
Abraham? 12-2.
Thanks, Chris.
You're welcome.
And we probably won't have, since we're going to have the org meeting and end of year next week, I assume we won't have the credit card report either.
No, that usually doesn't come until at least the third week.
And Chris, did you want to make any comments about the status of the audit for
Sure, I had that under
2022 and 2023?
correspondence, but I just wanted to let the trustees know that the full audit is still ongoing. It is the 22-23 audit, and it is a full audit, not one of the shortened ones. And we will not be completed until 2023, sometimes in the first quarter. And that is the state auditors. We didn't get contacted till mid-October that we were going to start the field work.
2025.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we didn't, the field work just started on 11/26. So due to school audits requiring a stricter timeline, we got bumped. So based on my availability and the auditor's availability in mid-January, we will continue at that time.
Okay, thank you.
Nothing wrong, just we got bumped. They were late getting started and something took more precedence than us.
And as usual, I've already talked with Chris, we'll be doing the 2025 appropriations budget at the meeting
Yes,
next week. It'll just be the temporary. It's obviously a lot of things can change between then and April 1st. Okay, was there anything else then on the financials, Chris?
That is all oh, I do have one question. Zoning has these two meetings scheduled. That runs into the BZA, I think they said. was
Yeah,
the
it is the
ones.
BZA.
So I've got timesheets for everybody else. I need their year-end timesheets. The last meeting is until December 18th, and
Right.
I need them by the 17th so that you can sign them.
Or we can just come in and sign them later, right?
Denny, are you going to be here?
No,
So it'll only just, but you can get two signatures.
I'll be here at the next meeting, but that's all.
David, you'll be here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because otherwise it goes into the next year.
I just would have liked to have had it done before.
Yeah, well,
Earlier, the better.
yeah, well, with those things coming in, it's trying to get all the schedule of 7 other people, plus with the applicants. It just
You
worked
could
out
always
that way.
schedule
Well, we'll need
an
to-
emergency meeting or a special meeting.
No, I won't.
You won't?
No.
We're just
But
gonna sign
I
it.
would like to let Sam know that that's too late. I mean, if we can bump it up earlier in December, that would be great. Not to hold the meeting that late.
Yeah, well, again, they can't control
That's the
when
BZA.
somebody makes an application, and that's the situation we've got here.
And it has to be done within so many days, and they have to put it in the paper, and there's a whole
Yeah, I get all
And
that.
They have to do it.
Payroll's got to be done too, so
No.
I don't want to be here on Christmas Day doing payroll.
Okay, anything else then, Chris?
Nope, I'm good.
All right. Welcome everyone in attendance. Is there anything to bring before the board? Okay. Move on to correspondence. Linda did send me, she got a request from the county recorder's office to be put on our agenda in April, on April 8th. So Mike Duran will be here on April 8th. To my knowledge, they didn't leave what the topic was. I assume it's just going to be discussion on the recorder's operation. I've left it under correspondence, Linda. I don't know if you want to address the AED requirement now or later.
There's nothing to report on it.
Okay.
I haven't heard anything. I've been watching. I figured I'd contact her maybe in January.
Okay. There's a House bill that don't know if this will get through in this session or not, but you're encouraged to contact our representatives, and this would be our current representatives that are serving. It's House Bill 315. This has been tried before. It's never gotten through, where we would have the option to post these public hearings and meetings and whatnot on our website versus a newspaper of general circulation. Because really, for our community, we're down to one newspaper. And you don't know how much longer that'll last, and it gets very expensive. Chris did I asked her for the information for the last 3 years, what we pay for advertising in a newspaper, and realize this can go up and down, but we're averaging about $1,000 a year. It may not sound like a huge amount, but that's $1,000 that we could save here. What you don't see, that's just what we pay for the newspaper. That doesn't include all of the work and effort that someone goes through to get that information, coordinate with the newspaper, to make sure that it's done right and that they meet the timeline. And then obviously Chris has got to generate the bills, and so there's a lot more than just what the newspaper's charging. But right now, we average about $1,000 a year in the publications. I don't know what it was like the two meetings Chris just talked about that unfortunately are going to be at the end of the year. Both of those would have been a cost
Probably
of
another
publishing in the
$100
newspaper.
for the two of them.
Yeah, and I know Bill tries to truncate his as short as he can and keep it within the law, but when you read it, sometimes you're not really sure what's going on. But he does try to minimize the print lines that are in there. So if you can, just get a hold of our representatives, encourage them to pass that. Realize municipalities have this right already. So why the state legislature decided to give it to municipalities and not townships is beyond me. It could be because, many of the townships are very rural, so there's not a lot of that activity to be concerned with, but in the portions of the state that border some of the larger cities, there's multiple public meetings that require posting, and in addition to anything that's publicly bid.
I think some of the more rural areas may have difficulty having access to the internet.
Well, and that may be the case too, but the way the law is written for municipalities and the way it's always been requested by the OTA is that it be an option. It doesn't prevent you from putting it in the local newspaper. It's just like here, we've got, even Lorraine County, some of our southern townships will put it into the rural urban. And I don't know if they're even being charged for that, because the rural urban just goes out and that's all funded with a lot of advertising, but it's very local. It doesn't even come up into our area. And then the Lorraine County Township Association is holding their Christmas banquet, 6:30 on December 19th at Camden Township. If you're going to go, get your reservations in, the sooner the better. And I just wanted to bring it up to make sure I realize it'll be approved later, but they asked for the door prizes. We typically allocated $50 for that. We've been doing that for many years. I assume we're going to do the same thing. Most likely it'll just be gift cards from local vendors here in our township. So it'll probably be two $25 gift cards. And that's it for correspondence. So we'll move on to the reports. I think I've mentioned before, the next Sandstone Joint Ambulance Board meeting will be on Thursday, February 13th, at 11 o'clock a.m. at the Amherst Fire Station. Sheriff's not here, Sam's not here for zoning. Chris already has mentioned that the Zoning Board of Appeals on this Wednesday, December 11th, they have a conditional use hearing on the Amherst Exempted Village School District's Transportation Center. Then on the following Wednesday, December 18th, at 6 o'clock, is Ryan Holmes is requesting an area variance for one of the lots that abuts one of the conservation areas. And then the Board of Zoning Appeals has scheduled their organizational meeting to be on January 8th of 2025 at 6 o'clock p.m. If there's no question on zoning, we'll move on to Fire Prevention Officer, Chris.
No report.
Thank you. Roads, Parks, and Cemetery Superintendent Marsh.
Leaves are all good, picked up, cemetery and the park. We have a couple of ditches that we will be cleaning out. A couple of storm sewers that we're going to be placing here in the next, within the next month. Small one on Tenney, and have some under drain in a couple of spots that we're going to be doing in Hidden Valley. We went through the snowstorm. That went real well. We're back up to par. We're ready for the next one that comes along. And I talked with Bob Jantz with Barnes, and he's going to be swinging through and measuring out the yard waste pile and getting an estimate worked up. But I told him we would not be doing that until next year. Definitely after the Christmas trees come in. He definitely was not worried about that for the amount of trees that we do put into it. Possibly looking at somewhere around, if everything works out okay, budget-wise, maybe, well, we'll see what the number comes up with first, obviously, but maybe sometime towards the end of February or beginning of March, we'll have that ground up. And Tom Lewis had called about the dump truck. I was pretty sure that build date was going to be the 12th. He told me the 19th, but then he was backtracking a little bit, but somewhere right there, the 12th into the 19th, it'll be the build date, but it still ain't going to show up until the beginning of next year.
Okay.
Everything's running along pretty smoothly.
Okay, good. Who gets to drive the truck the first time?
It ain't gonna be me. Yeah, from talking with Tom and the other municipalities around, he's got a pretty widespread area that he covers for dump trucks. And he says for the past, 10 years that he's been with them, he said everyone loves the product that they get with Mac and even with Gled Hill. He said he can't think of any complaints that just pop out that would, be anything crazy. So everybody's been pleased so far. And they're rolling them out. They're out there and they're about. And, well, that's why you have to wait so long.
Right. Well, it's good we got that state price locked in when we did,
Yeah, definitely.
because we were right on the edge even on that.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, there any other questions for Kevin?
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, Township Administrator, Senior Service Officer, Linda Ashley.
Morgan and I are just trying to finish up some things for this year and get some things organized for next year, spreadsheets and whatnot. One thing that we are working on is trying to come up with some sort of networking or cloud service that we could put our files up into. And that way, when Sam pulls it down to work on a spreadsheet and he changes anything on it, it goes back up. When we pull it down, we've got the current version. Because right now with the 3 standalone computers, we don't all have the same information. If we put it into one, we have to remind the others to put it in too. So Chris has hooked us up with Todd Sharkey, is that his last name? At the county, who's the IT guy. He was supposed to come in this week to take a look at what we have and give me some advice on if we should go Google Docs or Microsoft or do a network or whatever he felt would be the best for us. The least amount of experience needed, because we're not all that tech savvy ourselves. He did not make it in on Monday, so I'm going to contact him and get another date to come in. And the other thing that we're kind of looking into, and it's just very early stages, is possibly setting up some kind of a credit card system where our people that are coming in to pay permits can do it credit card, and then we would have the convenience fee charged to them, so we wouldn't absorb any fees. Very early stages. We do have a lot of people that come in, don't bring checks, don't have checks, have to go get money orders and come back, and this would just be a better convenience. Especially when you're talking, some of these permits are, a couple $1,000s, like the big commercial permits for Tom. So, early stages, we'll let you know. Other than that, I don't have anything.
I think you had started looking at that a few years back, too.
Yeah, I think it was last year, and just kind of, that was it. Didn't go anymore, so now we're going to look at it again.
And when you do, I know you got to look at the privacy on that then, too. There's another whole section of the code, which before we didn't have to worry about because we didn't have the cards, which always seemed funny to me. A check was okay, and there was no worry about privacy where somebody's giving you their name, address, phone number, bank account, routing number.
And their account number,
And a piece of paper.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll make sure it's all, secure, that the township isn't going to have any cost, how we can give the cost to the people,
Yeah.
whatever, how we can get from, the point of sale, point of service to our bank account without, having any issues, any privacy issues.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I wondered, for Chris Nyhart, do you know, does the city of Amherst accept credit cards?
They do.
They do, okay,
There's a fee attached to it as well.
okay,
Utilities department does and the building department, they both do.
okay. But they, instead of building it in their fee, if you use a card, then you're paying an extra fee.
Talk to me.
Okay.
okay.
All right, anything else, Linda?
Nope, that's it.
Questions for Linda?
No.
All right, thank you. Okay, as far as complaints, and I wasn't sure on this one, other than during the snow times, because I'm not sure what authority we have, there was a complaint that came in about, in this case, a trailer that's parked on the roads. Obviously, you've only had the one weather event to go around, and I know you don't like it when people park on the roads and you can't get the plows around, but that's not the case on this one. It's just a neighbor saying that, it's been there for several weeks, so it sounds like somebody's just using the road as an extra storage area. I don't know, for David, do you know, or Denny?
No,
If
I
there's really
do not
anything,
know.
I mean, because short of putting up no parking signs, which we've tried to avoid because, the fight we've had between neighbors. One neighbor wants all the parking on one side of the street, and the other one complains, no, I want it on the other side of the street because we can't have it on both. So we basically just haven't put those up other than close to the intersection.
Just a trailer
Yeah, just a
with
trailer.
no vehicle attached, just a trailer kind of
Right.
dropped there.
Like I said, they're using the road for storage.
What road
Well-
was that, Neil?
Pardon?
What road is that?
Allendale.
It's already taken care of.
Okay.
Sam went out and
But-
talked to the guy, and he moved it right away.
There's a
New
point.
resident wasn't aware that he couldn't park it there.
That was Sine?
Yes.
That, okay.
Thanks, Linda.
But as a, I'm gonna say, as a point of law, there's regulations for motor vehicles. That's not a motor vehicle. A trailer is not a motor vehicle. So, just leave the trailer in the right of way, you could be an obstruction of the right of way. I would think that would be very dangerous. Not what you want to do is leave a trailer on sitting in a road because people don't expect it. So that's something I would run by the sheriff or the state patrol, see what the laws are on that. One thing to have a construction zone.
Can
but
you
it's-
maybe do a quick check on that, David, and maybe let us know at the next meeting? You know, in this case, this particular issue is taken care of, but
Yeah,
maybe
yeah,
if
but
you
in
can
general,
find
in the
out and
future-
give us, okay.
You know, just what that entails,
Yeah.
because I think it's maybe something bigger than that.
Or if you can get something more specific, then appreciate it.
Neil?
That was, yeah, I skipped that in the zoning report, you know, with Sam not here, but basically there's 40 new homes as of right now. At the end of November, it was 38, so there's been another 2 since our last meeting. for
But
permits.
what is he getting out of this? Is he getting half of that?
No, this is the total that's been collected
Well,
this year.
that's what I'm asking. Is he getting half of that?
No,
No, that's the full amount that's been
Sam?
collected.
where are you asking?
Oh,
Talking
you're talking
about
about the building
Horseman.
official. No. These are the zoning fees. This isn't the commercial.
That's the zoning fees.
Right.
But is he getting half of that?
He being our building official, Tom Horseman, no. He's
How
not,
about our regular,
Sam, our zoning inspector, he gets
He's
paid.
hourly.
Right.
He's hourly.
okay.
We haven't had
Well,
commission-based. I
at
don't know, for
one
years.
point, we were giving half at one point when we
You got the
didn't
first so many
have-
dollars, and then you got, yeah, like half or
Right.
whatever that was
Right,
then.
but he doesn't get that
No, no.
anymore.
No, there's nothing here on this.
Okay,
Flat hourly.
all right.
It's been that way for the last 20 years.
Well,
Changed
it
that.
was,
At least 20,
Well, it'd be
25 years.
difficult too, you know, realize it's the first point of contact, not only is there Sam, but Linda and Morgan, you know, that are helping in the process too. And this is, again, only because there's a lot of more construction
that's
than normal.
right, that's right.
You know,
But
if you go
it
back,
hasn't been 20 years, David. It has been, maybe, what?
yeah, but this is significantly higher because I keep a record, 2013, there were 9, you know, if we just talk homes, because that's where the big dollars are, not the fences and pools. There were 9 homes in 2013, 6 in 2014, 6 in 2015,
That's right.
2 in 16, 6 in 17, you know, pretty consistent, 7 in 18, 3 in 19. Then it started 13 in 2020, 5 in 2021,
But he's
24 in
had a total
2022.
Of
You
40
know, so you see
homes.
it ramping up. Yes, and so that's why that, the fee collected is up because of the increase in the construction of new homes. Our fences and whatnot, our poles, that's pretty much been the same because that's in our older neighborhoods. The newer ones have homeowners associations, so people can't put up whatever they want anyway. So that's controlled by the homeowners association. So there probably won't be more residuals, whereas you go the other subdivisions, every time someone new comes in, they want a playground set, pool, fence, new accessory building. They make the home their own the way they want it. Okay, we'll move on to the other unfinished business. Is there anything that are sign-specific responsibilities that need to be brought up?
I have no updates
No,
at
I have
this
nothing.
time. I would just, right, I did call in the street light at Bechtel and 113.
Okay.
That was complaint was received, and I believe the message back to them to, contact Ohio Edison. But, I drove by a Sunday and it was still out, so I called in and got a work order on it.
I don't recall if it's in this newsletter or the last newsletter. Jan would have put an article in there where Ohio Edison wants people to call in, and if they sign up for their app, they will actually show you where the out-of-service areas are and when they're going to be repaired. Is that this newsletter? Okay. So that'll be going out to the residents, because it was, Nick Costaros was at one of the Lorraine County Township Association meeting. They're still working out some kinks, but they're hoping, particularly as you get the larger sections that are knocked out. You know how it is now, you start looking on social media, you're calling your neighbors, the whole bit, because you'd leave a message with First Energy, you wouldn't know, but now they're actually going to show a map, and sometimes there's one resident left at the end of the line that they may have to visit directly, but they say you will be able to see it visually. And I don't know how well their estimates will be in returning service, but you'll now get a visual of the areas that are without power. So,
Well,
take a look at that article, David, if you didn't read the detail on it.
one advantage of the resident calling directly to Ohio Edison versus the township doing it is that Ohio Edison requests an address that the light is closest to. And the residents generally are familiar with the area. They know which address that light is close to. I don't know specifically. I always have to go out and I have to field chase down the address and find out
That
exactly.
one, 113 might be a tough one. What address do you give? That's the closest one.
Well, that one on Bechtel Road, that was interesting. We'll see what happens there. Anyway, but the street light's out. The residents could try Ohio Edison, call them on their customer service line and report it. That would be better because they will ask for the closest address, and the residents are probably more aware of the addresses around the house, their house, and around the light than we are, and they can give it straight away, whereas otherwise we have to go chase it down and try to guess which one.
And if they're in
Which
the
address it
section
is.
serviced by the city of Amherst, call Amherst. So they got to know where they're at. We found some of them don't realize where they're at. I guess, I don't know who pays their bill, but it's probably a couple, and the person calling complaining isn't the one paying the bill that knows where their power comes from. But Ohio Edison, I know, because I've got Ohio Edison. It's on their bill. Georgianne puts in every newsletter the phone number to call.
I
They're
believe
out of
we have
service.
one or two lights with the city of Amherst, but I believe that, correct me if I'm wrong, Chris, those are down on Broadway and Taylor.
There's lights on Broadway Taylor, and there's lights in Copper Creek that are also serviced by Amherst.
Okay.
Those are all Amherst power.
Yeah.
So people have to know where they're at and who to call, but it should be on their bill.
Tina Lane has
Yeah.
both, actually, both sides of the road, Ohio Edison and Amherst.
Okay?
Well,
All right. Any new business? Okay, our next regular meeting then will be at 7 o'clock on Tuesday, December 17th. That will be the end of year 2024 meeting, in addition to the 2025 org meeting. The meeting that would be like a regularly scheduled meeting on Christmas Eve, obviously, is going to be canceled. Any need for getting together in any work session, Kevin?
No, sir.
Okay. Good, it's getting too close to the holidays and the days are getting booked up fast. Any need for an executive session?
No, sir.
Okay, just remember at the Next meeting, we will have the organizational meeting. I'll be sending out the information early in terms of all the various benchmarks that are in there for the considerations on compensation adjustments, in addition to fee adjustments. So if you can look at those ahead of time so we can move through that meeting, pretty efficiently. With that then, can I have a motion to adjourn?
So move.
Second,
Abraham?
Yes.
Euring?
yes.
Lynch?
Yes.